Well, hello there and welcome. I am S.R. Mowry and this is Mistwood Publishing, the best place to rediscover your wonder and to allow yourself to still be inspired. Hey guys, I wanted to talk about Saga II some more, this time a different arc. And you'll know the different arcs by the different sigil at the beginning of the chapter. So like I was saying in my previous video, Saga 1 was pretty much all one arc, more or less. This one is three separate arcs, and you could read the book the traditional way, or you could read it by arc. I mean, that's the way that this book is separated. And it really helps, the Narbad arc feel fresh every time you get to a new chapter, or every time you get to one of the two Kings chapters. Like, it feels fresh and it feels wanted, and it feels like a nice reprieve from like the traditional fantasy, because each of these arcs is very different as well. So on this bookmark you can see the Narbad sigil. So anytime you see that, you know it's a Narbad chapter. But anytime you see the antlered helm, you get the Zak Bonebreaker and Narbad's father Haol, their storyline. And for their story is where it is still escapism, but there is a bit of kind of that message from Saga 1 kind of continued, where I'm still trying to keep the reader aware that orcs have it hard in this world. And so you see a lot of hardship, and you see a lot of difficult moral questions being asked, and kind of not celebrating nihilism, but facing it and asking difficult questions about, well, how do we overcome nihilism? And what do we do with these difficult situations that we're put in, because life is full of those. And I mean, it still is escapism, because it's not like you and Zach have the same problems. It's not like you and Hale have the same problems, but they're going to feel like what they're going through is going to feel very easily sympathetic, and maybe not real in that you've probably never known someone to go through what they've gone through, but the emotions that they feel are very relatable. Hale's just trying to get back to his son, Narbad, and it's kind of their quest to try to do that, and it goes horribly, horribly wrong. I always wanted to write a gladiator story. Ever since I saw the trailer for The Force Unleashed 2, where he's like kind of walking towards the fight, and he's got like Yoda and Darth Vader and his Lady Love's voices going through his head, and he's just kind of contemplating before he has to go and do this big fight. And that always like really stuck with me, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to match the energy of that trailer. And I think I have. I mean, the gladiator fights in this story, in this arc, are absolutely some of the most gratuitous yet epically and beautifully written moments in a fantasy book that you'll ever see. It's the shortest of the three arcs, but man, when it shows up, you're ready to go, and it allows for some really creative combat scenes, as well as, again, advancing the plot and setting up Saga 3 really well with the orcs. And it doesn't seem like it at first, but it ties into the third arc very well, and kind of this arc really is what allows like the big bow to come together at the end of the book. Without this arc, maybe some things would feel like they're missing. And so, I don't know, it's wish fulfillment. It's writing that gladiator storyline that I always wanted to write. It's, but with orcs. It's tying up loose ends. It's reminding the reader of what the plight of the orc is. And, of course, Zach and Hale are just wonderful characters that I mean, Zach is my favorite character I've ever come up with, so obviously I absolutely love writing these stories. There's one fight where it's like raining, and I just like the way it's choreographed in my mind and the way I put it on the page is some of my favorite writing I've ever read. It's, obviously some of my favorite I've ever written, but also some of my favorite I've ever read. It's like the sword like swings and like cuts somebody's head off, and it's like the rain is clear as it runs down the blade, and then it's like Hale's watching it as it almost in like slow-mo trickle like rivers down, like rivers of blood are replacing the clear water, and like the way that it's written out is just really, really epic, and I can't emphasize enough. This arc is extremely. It's not probably the more violent than the end battle at the end of the book, but it is. It won't disappoint the fans of Zak Bonebreaker, and you'll get to continue to see how he got his name, why he is the way he is, and explore parts of Fostra that we didn't get to explore in part one, such as the Western Kingdom, which readers of the Silver Mist will remember is where Gildor Fingolfin comes from. So lots of stuff being set up here. Really cool arc, and I'm excited for people to read it and see what they think.